Pynk ladies, T-birds just happen to be watchers of my shit. My name is Jimmi Pynk, and 2017 can suck my Lebanese dick.
Storm, if you will.
I came in the door.
I'm in Miami, bitch.
What up, y'all? So this is episode 4 Claws review. And as you can see, I'm back in my natural habitat. So I was able to give you a look, darling. I was trying to give you Miami tease, if you will. And because when I'm not in my habitat, I usually have to do the pictures ahead of time because my nails are always going to be different than the nails that I did for the episode of the show. So we'll go ahead and do the claws goes as follows at this point. And those ones were inspired by Quiet Ann because she don't say a lot, but the words was on her nails. Now, darling, I'm going to keep flipping the fan the wrong way. This episode, listen, I'm just going to call it and tell y'all it's safe to say that I'm going to start watching every episode twice from now on because there is so much going on. There is so much going on. Full disclosure of the first episode, I'm watching it. I'm in full geesh. And my doorbell rings. I know who it is. A nigga who can't never keep track of his keys. I was just coming to say hi. Do you know it is time for claws? Don't do that. I'll see you tomorrow. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get up in this gig, bitch. Listen. First and foremost, I have to say this. The cast, the writers, the actual official Twitter for the show. They are so gracious to the fans. They are not fucking with y'all on this motherfucking social media marketing. When I tell you, when you tweet, they are reading them tweets. They are reading them tweets. They are retweeting them tweets. They are responding back to these tweets. Shouts to Jen Line. Shouts to Judy Reyes. And the writer, I apologize, I don't know your name off the top of my head because I just realized somebody else that was retweeting me. I thought it was just somebody agreeing with me, and I found out that he was actually who wrote the episode. I apologize, I don't have the name readily available. But they were retweeting me like all episode, responding back. Even Harold, who plays Dean, I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. I only tweeted him once, and I just said, like, you playing the hell out of this part. And he even replied back, thank you. So, like, they are very conversational with their fans. Niecy Nash is, responded to me in the past, but I know she's at the Essence Festival. Karuchi probably is, too. It's just, for any of y'all, if y'all, obviously you must like this show because you're watching it. So either you like Claws or you like the Jimmi Pynk YouTube program. And either way, it feels good when somebody, especially when they're on the level like it's Hollywood, and you're noticing that they're really actually paying attention to their fans, and you're one of the special few that they pay attention to. It's great. Now, we didn't get into enough that ain't had nothing to do with the episode. It is so much going on, and I was live tweeting my ass off because, girl, I was trying to win the K-pop contest. I was like, oh, just retweet, and the funniest tweet gets whatever this Karuchi lipstick she had on was like this orangey bronze color, which is what color my highlighter is. So I was like, here for it. Sure. Run it. Because I live tweet anyway. So, let me get into my Twitter so that I can know exactly what I want to talk about because, oh my God, there was so much going on this episode. There was so much. So we start and we pick up, which I told you, I love your show, but I told you I was going to call y'all on your bullshit if last week that ended and it was a dream sequence, and it was. However, I've said this every week, I still maintain that I believe that Roller is still alive. I believe that he is 100%. However, this wasn't when he was coming back. It was a dream sequence, and then like he's haunting Desna. Well, I'm not gonna say he's haunting Desna. It's not a ghost. It's in her mind because the shit's eating her alive. That opening scene, and Dean came in, and then they seen a picture of let me turn this down, the foster parents, and he started like flipping out, and she was trying to get him together, and then Uncle Daddy Paul, and you just seen it. Like, shout outs to Niecy Nash, like, brilliant comedian, but I did not know she was. I did watch Getting On, because I watched Niecy Nash and everything. I did watch Getting On, but I just didn't know her acting chops was like this. She is fucking killing this. I am foreseeing, if not an Emmy nomination, definitely a Golden Globe nomination, especially if they put it in the category of comedy. I see it. She killing this, because it was all the actresses, and, you know, and the actors too. Like, they're doing so much acting non-verbally. This cast is slaying it. Everybody. There's not a weak link in this cast. Not that I've seen yet. There is not a weak link in this cast. This is amazing. But I felt so bad when he was talking about the Kuntzes. I almost kind of figured that must have been a foster family. But that's like I said, last episode. They'll drop these little jewels for you. This kind of, everybody's like, oh, I need the backstory in one episode. This ain't Orange is the New Black. We're just going to get bits and pieces of their backstory. So we obviously know Desna is the caretaker for Dean. But now we know, and they said this is just which foster family. They've been in foster care probably like most of their life. Most of their young life. So she's always had to take care of Dean, which is a vibe that I felt anyway. But this is confirming it, that like she has had to have his back her whole entire life. She's been basically raising him and taking care of him. And you see that spill over because she don't know nothing else to do but take care of people. And you see that spill over into every other character. Like, she is definitely Mama Bear. Let's see. Okay. Let me tell you this. As a fan of Firefly, yeah, I get down like that. I told y'all, I do sci-fi, I don't do fantasy, but I'm nerdy. Gina motherfucking Torres, bitch, slayed my soul. Do you hear me? She was fly as ever. She's an amazing actress. Like, a damn, I almost was like, ooh, is we ever gonna get her character back? Like, can she be like a side character on the show? Can we have Gina Torres all the time? But if it's a guest appearance, it's cool. She slayed. Come on, Twitter, don't start acting. Dean, when Karuchi came out, and he started speaking, I apologize. I don't know if it was Chinese, Korean, Japanese, but he started speaking that foreign language. So I said, not he racial profiling. But why do I feel like Dean and Virginia is going to end up together? I feel like that's going to happen. I don't know if that's something that's going to happen eventually down the road, depending on how long this series runs, or if it just ends up that something eventually does happen to Desna and Virginia ends up having to take over taking care of Dean. But there is definitely a connection there. And because she done been ran through and mistreated by men, and, you know, the foreshadowing, the way they write this shit, man, shout outs to the writers. The way they write this shit is phenomenal. And they're building it up, because even the first episode that she meets Dean, which I believe was episode 2, she says, "You're not like other boys, are you?" And then cut to last episode where she just sucking people off and is getting her through, and she tells Desmond, like, this is what I've always done. This is always how I got by. And Dean is going to be more interested in her as a person. Like, yeah, I'm sure he does think she's pretty, but he's going to be more interested in her as a person and not as a sexual object. And I think I want to say that's something that Karuchi has never had. So I feel like that is going to be something that's going to connect them. Also, the fact that because he still has juvenile ways because of his mental disability, and she obviously, because she clearly ain't got no home training and wasn't raised properly, she's still very juvenile. I think they're going to connect on a level like that. Let me see, where else do we get? When she said, okay, we got to raise this money. And they started coming up with ideas. And Jen asked, was like, when I had to raise money for an abortion, I had to put on a bikini and did a car wash. A car wash for abortion. Hashtag car wash for abortions. I cannot. But when they said we can wear our Vanity 6 outfits, and they came out, and I even tweeted this, and they came out looking like the Cheetah Girls 20th reunion. Bitch, I said, when did Vanity 6 have on all leopard? Not never. Looking like Josie and the Cougars instead of Josie and the Pussycats, but y'all know I live for a good leopard. And if I wasn't already dressed for the episode, bitch, I'd have been out here with some motherfucking leopard on, bitch, because I live for leopard. So I was living for them all having on leopard. But Niecy Nash is giving me all the life in the fashions, but baby, them gold hooker boots are no. But at the same time, you have to understand this is character building, and like they said, those were Vanity 6 costumes, so none of those people, with the exception of Karuchi that wasn't around, she just trampy like that she already had a leopard leotard, because she's a stripper, so she just already had something. But the rest of them, clearly that is not what they normally look like. Especially Carrie Preston, Polly, and let's talk about Polly. Bitch. Joanne the Scammer is canceled. It's Polly the Scammer now. You hear what I'm saying? When Polly had changed on that dime, when Gina Torres had walked in and said, Heather, is that you? Sally. All that sweet southern accent had left. She done came up with this whole motherfucking gag, bitch. Like, I was so bored because Otto died of butt cancer. I decided to write a book about a nail salon. So I'm just doing this and getting in here. But here's the craziest part about that. You lied your way up so much, but you couldn't say, like, these girls would have never accepted me if they knew I came from money, and you said you got left $20 million, that you couldn't say, oh, I got on this ankle bracelet and I made up this backstory about Polly. Or made up this backstory that I went to jail. You could have lied about all of that. But the whole point was Polly had just, it was supposed to be, and it was supposed to show that obviously you done already lost everything doing this. It's time to give it up. Just be yourself. The scene with her and Desna was wonderful. I'm jumping around because I am going by my tweets, but Bryce. Let's talk about Bryce. I feel so bad for Bryce, and I feel so bad for Jen. Because Bryce really seemed like he was on the up and up. And again, they give us these little nuggets of backstory. So they said something was your husband cheating on you again. This was in the first scene as well. Your husband was cheating on you again. No, that was my first husband. This is my new husband. Or my second husband, or however you want to put it. So obviously, you know, Virginia has been through some shit. Like, they just keep giving us little nuggets of backstory. And, you know, now, like I said, I've made some assumptions about Jen, and it seems like to me that Bryce and Jen met each other, and they, like, really legitimately make each other better, and they really legitimately love each other. And you can just see, like I said, the acting ain't even is non-verbal. Like, the shit is tearing Jen apart. When that baby had called and said, Daddy is acting funny, and he was cooking them lunch and everything and never even changed his clothes. And I have to say I love the wardrobing department because it's stylish, but it's also function. To put him in that bright yellow polo so that red blood stood out on it. So that, like, it was obvious, like, he wear khakis and polos all the time. But to do a yellow polo, white too obvious, but those primary colors against each other, that yellow with that bright red blood, and you just up cooking food around your kids. And then when Jen goes to talk to Uncle Daddy, and I put it to you like this. Jen obviously wear pants in that family. Okay? Like, Bryce is weak. Bryce is the older brother, but Roller was always obviously the one that had the heart. Like, Bryce is just a nice guy. Bryce wasn't part of that, you know, that's what he grew up with, but he wanted something different. And I feel like You know, Jen probably went through some hardships, and that's how they bonded. But I feel like we've seen Jen dress, but this is the softest I have ever seen Jen look. Like, she always looked pretty, you know. Sometimes she have on, when she be in the thing, when she be having her little jogging sweatpants and her J-Lo boots, it don't be that fly. But even when she be dressed up, but she don't never look like extremely soft and feminine. So I thought that was a good choice to put her in like that mint green flowy like dress, which I loved. But we've never seen her in anything that quite looked like that. And I think that was more so like to not come at Uncle Daddy the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Not come in at him hot. Like, I'm going to soften myself. I'm going to be docile. I'm going to look like I'm the caring wife. I'm going to show him that, like, you know, he is the alpha. And, like, that's why I'm talking about the wardrobe. Like, the things that they do. Even down to the nails, bitch. Peep gang. There was the scene, because I be watching the nails because I be trying to get ideas. The scene when they was at the car wash, and something happened with Desna, but I happened to look at her nails. Because it wasn't the French. They were half and half. I said, y'all motherfuckers, her nails looked like pills. Her nails looked like pills. I said, y'all motherfuckers is doing it. This show is my everything right now. Like I said, I was all gung-ho on Riverdale, and I will be reviewing Riverdale, and I'm glad they don't come on at the same time, but fuck a Riverdale. This is it. This is it. This is my favorite show on TV, including RuPaul's Drag Race. RuPaul's Drag Race and Hell to Crown for like 9 years. No, Claus is my favorite TV show, hands down on television. Let me see what else we got here. The synchronized swimming. Y'all, that shit came so out of left fucking field, but it was so wrong, it was right. I was here for it. And apparently, Uncle Daddy's boy toy is transgender and is going to get a sex change because Jen, I picked out my new titties. Oh, I love how they just inject the comedy in. Like, the shit be so tense and then they inject that comedy in. Like I said, everybody's doing a phenomenal job acting. But even if you're a good actor, if they're writing this shit, it don't matter. So I got to give props to the clause writers as well. So Polly gets found out. Oh, again with the writing. Polly gets found out. So, you know, she goes to tennis with Sally Yates, Gina Torres' character. And Gina Torres basically tells her, yeah, I'm fucking a dude on the side every Friday, Wednesday. And every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've been ciphering money. I got a little rainy day. Fun setup. This is what I mean about the foreshadowing, and the writing is so fucking good. That's why I said I'm probably going to now start watching every episode twice. And then at the end, the shit she told her, and then when she like broke down and was like, we both con artists. You don't love this man. You ain't had money before this. You got this man and now you rich. We the same. And she wanted to be bougie. Got that ass because she came back and blackmailed you with motherfucking information. She set herself up for failure. I thought that was just so clever. And also, speaking of the writing and the foreshadowing, fucking Dr. Ken. And when Dr. Ken is all flipping out because his ex-wife is getting remarried, and they're talking about it, and they almost made up all the money, except for $15,000 to pay Uncle Daddy back so they can get the fuck on and get the fuck out. Which, you know, Uncle Daddy is going to come up with some way that even if they came up with the $88,000 right then, Uncle Daddy is still going to have them some kind of way still working there. But when he said to Desna, he's like, you know, if I live through tomorrow, because her engagement party is tomorrow. Like the 2 and 2, when Bryce came to her and said it's the same kind of gun, he know all the Roller's passwords because obviously somebody would have had to have gotten in Roller's house to kill Roller and get him out. I said, damn, these writers are so damn cold. But he let his freak fly, didn't he? He said, oh, that Ken doll ain't never gonna make you squirt. What is the preoccupation on this show with squirt? It's been something about squirt in every episode, and I've noticed that. So if that's like just a little, you know, tease to see who the real fans is and who's really paying attention. I caught you, motherfucker, because it's something about shrimp or squirt in every episode. Let's see what else. Oh, when they killed the dude to work for Titus. Like, y'all getting innocent people killed now. That shit was scary. Just shot him in broad daylight, made Bryce cut up the body. Bryce gonna be back on them dolls. Real soon. Real soon, especially if he goes through with killing Dr. Ken. And then it's going to be too late in some kind of way. Uncle Daddy's going to be like, I know it wasn't the doctor, but he's going to be already did something to him or already killed him. I see Bryce relapsing this season, and it's going to hurt my soul. It is. Because the more that we're seeing of it, I really like how down Bryce and Jen are for each other. And that's going to hurt my soul when he get back on drugs, but he's going to relapse. This is too much for him. I dare say that's probably how he ended up an addict in the first place, because he was part of that family business. She obviously was married to somebody else before. So, before they got in each other's life, dare I say that that's probably why he was on drugs in the first place, because Uncle Daddy was trying to push him into the business and mentally he ain't there, so he was trying to sedate himself. I dare say I feel like that's what's going to happen. But Dr. Ken is the MVP this episode. That shit, when he got drunk and flipped out that. How would you let her go bike riding with a fanny pack? What respectable man does that? Like, he was just the straight up and down comic relief of the episode. And I was living for it. This is why I said about this series and how they switch from comedy and drama on the line, but also a testament to how well it's written and how well these actors and actresses are doing on this show. It's not the same character as the comic relief every episode. If y'all have not caught on to that. It's not always the same character as the comic relief. It's not always the same character. That's the serious one that's going through the shit. Like, they let everybody have a turn at everything. And I'm here for it. And I live. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, because I look like this on holiday weekend. And I have not eaten today because this was my first day off of work. And I slept up until about 6:30. Got dressed to do the review. And I'm like, shit, I look pretty damn good. And I'm hungry. So I'm about to blow this pop stand. But I want to thank y'all for watching. I want to give a shout out to the other girls that's reviewing it. Reviewing this. It's a lot of them. Oddly enough, and I feel like this is a testament also, because we are seeing archetypes and we are seeing women on TV that are not the usual women that we see on TV. They're not small, little, petite white women that's on every other sitcom. You know what I mean? Like, there is some difference here. We got a thick black girl, thick white girl, probably, like I said, it's 45, so we have an older white lady. We have a Latina butch lesbian, and we have a girl that's half black and half Asian. We are getting types of women on TV that we don't usually get, and they're not playing stereotypes. And I think the reason why, and what I'm going to say is, most of the reviewers outside, like AfterBuzz TV and the ones that review everything, most of the other reviewers that I see look like they could be my cousins. Like, we all like thick, light-skinned, wig-wearing ass women. It is what it is. But I think that speaks to, because we don't see lead characters that look like us. We don't. We very rarely see side characters that look like us. And if they do look like us, they're usually the comic relief. They're the butt of the jokes. So, again, with Claws, I want to definitely... I don't want to keep comparing it to Orange is the New Black, but Orange is the New Black was like the first series that I seen do that. And I think that this one is kind of along the same line. So this is a good time for women of different sizes, ages, cultures. We're starting to get represented on television a little bit more. And I think this show, to be perfectly honest with you, I think it does it even better than Orange is the New Black does. So, like, I'm just thrilled with the series. But thank you so much for watching and rocking with me. If you are not a Pink Lady or a T-Bird, feel free to subscribe by clicking Sailor Jimmy up there. Also, feel free to check out my Patreon and donate, because YouTube is fucking the YouTubers up on our coin. They are. And watch some other videos. So I want to thank you once again for watching. Oh, don't I do this shit every time? Thank you to my patrons. Roll the footage. Okay, so thanks to my patrons. So let me go ahead and reiterate because I forgot to enter that in. So Sailor Jimmy is to subscribe. The P is to check out my Patreon. Watch some other videos. Thank you so much for watching.
Perfect storm, if you will.
I came in the door. I said it before. You ready?